Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to Water Tanks, and today I have a full tank review for you on the Object 265T. This is the second vehicle that will be available in the Battle Pass, and while it's going to cost more tokens than the Airrack 105 Proto that I featured on the channel a couple of days ago, this might be worth saving for. This is an auto-reloading Soviet reward heavy tank that is very similar to the Object 752, and as the Object 752 is arguably the best tier 9 premium heavy in the game, that should get your attention. This vehicle looks like it's got fabulous armor for when it's side scraping, although a very horrible lower plate, 3 122mm rounds that it's able to deliver in 6 seconds, but also reload one by one to remain flexible in the scenario. This thing is looking like an absolute bull of a tank. Unfortunately, Wargaming haven't provided this vehicle early with any form of NDA, and so today it's going to have to be very much an on-the-fly tank review, but I think I know exactly how this one's going to work. So let's compare the Object 265T to the Object 752, and I'm not mincing my words about the Object 752. The thing is an absolute beast. It has the best win ratio difference of any tier 9 Soviet heavy, and it has one of the best win ratios of any tier 9 tank with regards to its difference, and also a very good regular win ratio difference. So if this vehicle can get close to the 752, then that means that this will be an absolute beast of a vehicle, if its statistics stay the same after Wargaming realize what possibly a crazy of a tank they're putting into the game. So the damage per minute of this tank looks great. However, what you have to consider is that it has an inverse auto reloader, which means that it will take longer and longer to reload the more shells it has in the magazine. Accordingly, when you're reloading the final shell on this tank after you've got 2 shells loaded, it's going to be 60 seconds divided by 17 times by 390. That's 1,376 damage per minute effective for that final shell. So you can see that it's not just going to have better damage per minute the whole time than the Object 752. So do keep that in mind, that it will probably balance out and have roughly the same damage per minute. But when you have an autoloader versus an auto reloader, and then this one has better damage per minute when it's empty, yeah, this thing has the better firepower. It also has the better penetration. Heat rounds wise, it has 300mm of pen, which won't be nearly as good as the 310 APCR on the Object 752, so that might be one of the balancing factors between these two vehicles. The 265T, it's actually saying it has a 2.5 second intraclip reload, but I think that is outdated data from the previous version of the game in the super test. So I'm actually going to have to throw this vehicle back into the mix with what I believe will be the public test data. It is so confusing to try and keep up with what Wargaming actually have plans for with their vehicles. Yes, good thing I checked. It's actually 3 seconds intraclip reload. And let me just quickly check to make sure that I did get the DPM right on the fully loaded tank. Yes, I did. Still, that's scary firepower. The 3 seconds intraclip reload will be better than the 752, and this thing carries more ammunition than the 752 as well. This is looking like a terrifying tank. Gun handling wise, better aim time, same accuracy, same moving dispersion, but worse turret traverse dispersion, so make sure you get snapshot on this tank. You will definitely need it. And unfortunately for this vehicle, while it has much better elevation, it has 2 degrees worse gun depression, which will stop it from being flexible on a ridgeline and kind of resign the vehicle to having to side scrape on corners. But as we saw with that rear mounted turret, it should be able to do so. Okay, so far the vehicle's had better firepower, similar but worse gun handling. Now onto the mobility. It's faster forwards, it's faster backwards, it has a better power to weight ratio, but it does have worse ground resistances. But as we can see, it has a better top speed on hard, even with those ground resistances, than the 752's limited 35 kilometers an hour, and it has an equal speed on medium. So as soon as you start to improve that with field mods, and get yourself some extra modules on the vehicle, like off-road driving as well for your driver skill, this thing's going to be faster than the Object 752. So now onto the armor. So the armor is interesting. 130 on the front, 75 on the side of the hull, looks way worse than the 752 there, and 300 on the front of the turret and 120 on the side. If we take a look to see how this armor model actually works out, however, this is against 242 AP pen. We can see it has a horrible lower plate. Its upper hull, it's not great when it's not angled, 300 millimeters of heat pen there. We'll have a 50-50 and the AP pen will struggle. But look what happens as soon as we angle this tank. As soon as we angle this tank around a corner and we side scrape, now the lower plate will be completely covered. Let's get a trusty calculator out there so you can get what I'm trying to suggest when you side scrape out around a corner. And as the weak point is on the right hand side of the tank, if you get a corner where you're going around a right hand corner, it's going to be absolutely perfect. The side armor on this tank is very dodgy, unlike the 7.52 does, so don't think it's just this idiotic tank which you can just angle at like 40-45 degrees and get away with murder. Still, that's very decent armor for that kind of a situation. With regards to the turret, it's just very solid even if you're not using any of your gun depression, and as soon as you are, man, this thing is going to make its opponents wince with how good that turret is. It does have a bit of a weak point, but it's going to be a tricky thing to hit. So all in all, that is very solid armor on this tank. I'd say it's slightly worse all in all than the 7.52, but probably better for side scraping because you don't have such a big weak point on the top when you're aiming your gun at your opponents. The vehicle also has 50 more hit points than the 7.52, and the vehicle has identical view range. And this is always stupid. Why does Wargaming make it so that these meant to be cumbersome heavy tanks, especially Soviet heavy tanks, are able to just see their opponents without coated optics? And we wonder why everything can slap a durability and a turbo on and not have to worry about not being useful when they get out of the town fight. Crew skills wise on this vehicle, I would recommend on your commander you take Brothers Repairs, Recon Emergency Coordination, and Practicality. For the radio operator skills, take Situational Awareness, Firefighting, and Side by Side on this tank. For your gunner skills, Brothers Repairs, Snapshot, Deadeye, Quick Aiming, and Armorer will do on this auto-reloading tank. For your driver, Brothers Repairs, Smooth Ride, Off-Road Driving, Engineer, and Controlled Impact for a little bit of tactical ramming. And for your loader, Brothers Repairs, Adrenaline Rush, Safe Stowage, Intuition, Ammo Tuning will be great. But you could switch Adrenaline Rush for Perfect Charge, considering that this is an auto reloader, and you still might want to have some sniping capabilities, but I'm personally going to go for the Adrenaline Rush. Equipment-wise on this vehicle, nice and simple. Vents, turbo, and vertical stabilizers will do. If you want to have a bit more firepower, then maybe drop out one of those modules for an aiming device, because this vehicle's accuracy is not great. For my second build on this tank, I'm definitely going to take a durability, vents, and vert stabs on this vehicle, because it's pretty fast to begin with. And so on those city maps, why do I really need a turbo in that scenario? If you do have an experimental turbo, might be a good candidate for the tank to be able to improve the gun handling further. So for my field mods, I'm taking all-terrain suspension to maximize my speed. I'm improving the accuracy. Then I'm taking the view range. I'm going to be going for a mobility slot that I'll put my vents into or put my turbo in, depending on my two build. And for the final field mod, why not go 4 kilometers an hour faster as well? And that means that this tank can drive at 50 with a turbo. Man, this thing is looking crazy. I just hope that I'm able to actually do well with this vehicle in the limited amount of time that I have with this tank with no NDA in the morning. Okay, Pearl River it is. This is the kind of map where I do feel like I need a little bit of gun depression, so maybe the 7.52 would have been better here. I still think that should do good. I'm going to take a turbo here. So tempting to just go for that chubby 2,000 hit points, right, with the durability. Man, this is a healthy tank. It's a real weird one, in a way. It's even quite... it's not small, is it? Because that's a BZ-58-2 next to me. But that rear turret, it's going to make it very bad for when you have to push round corners, but also annoying for if your opponents have to push you. But considering it's an auto-reloading tank, maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe you want to have a heavy tank that can actually attack your opponents. Accordingly, I might be putting too little weight on the durability, considering that this vehicle is going to have to expose itself to come around the corner and hopefully deliver 3 shells to its opponents. So, maybe I should try and put some extra weight on the durability on a vehicle like this. I think that maybe the turbo was a little bit overkill here. Perhaps I could have just been side-scraping on these corners against my opponents. Anyway, let's give it a go, see what we're able to do in the Object 265T. Another Tier 9 Soviet tank, just what we needed in World of Tanks. You know what, I just thought to myself, Intuition, probably not the best crew skill on this vehicle as well, considering that it's an inverse auto-reloader. But you've probably got a crew from other Soviet tanks where intuition is very useful. So yeah, I don't think intuition really the best of skills on this tank. It only saves you about like probably 5 seconds of reloading for an entire magazine shell switch. So might want to try and invest into better modules there. Okay, this is quite concerning with the E75. I'm just going to do the shell switch now, because otherwise this is going to turn into a nightmare. I'm hoping that the E75 is going to push down here. I'm going to tell this guy that I'll help him. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay, let's go for this E75 now then. He'll probably be just around this corner. Did he not push? Wow, the E75 didn't push. I'm very surprised about that. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to take the fight to the E75. Maybe I'm being too careful right now. There's the E75. Maybe the T-30 won't see me. I could just go straight after him. Oh god, he's got lots of friends. I'm going to go straight after the T-30 because that's the flexible tank here. And the Miel's got me in the side. That's great. And I'm on fire. Oh well. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Might as well just fire off my shells, right? With a gun like this. That Miel definitely got me good. Hopefully I don't low roll here. Oh, I did low roll. I got to turn back, otherwise that Miel's definitely going to tank me again. Okay, he's gone. Oh, because I'm an auto reloader. Oh, nice. He's 75. Gets me from down below. This guy's going to come after me. But he's not. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see how it is today, World of Tanks. I see how it is today, World of Tanks. You know, Uncle QuickyBaby doesn't get any NDA, any time to be able to prepare a tank review. And so, yes, World of Tanks is going to show me that this thing takes module damage quite a lot. But we got him. And that's the beauty of having an auto reloader on a vehicle like this. You know, you can have the worst possible situation. You know, the Miel turns, sets you on fire, dumps gold into your backside of your vehicle. Does it really matter? I might as well just switch out to AP here and not just waste the heat. On my press account, though, why do I care? We just got through. We had the hit points, and we just made it work. I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive here, I think. I think I should have just taken the fight. But in the end, it was pretty close to death anyway. Man, this thing is very mobile. It really is. An incredibly mobile tank. So I'm just going to sit here and snipe, because that's the best thing to do with mobile tanks, is sit here and snipe, right? That gun handling is ugly. But you show me the Soviet heavy tank that has good gun handling. Oh well. I'll hit the shot anyway. I'll hit the shot anyway, even with that cursed gun handling. You know, I'll hit both the shots, because why not? That's Soviet. Okay, look. All right, 2,000 damage. Not impressive for our first game in this tank. What did we find out? Well, we found out that getting shot in the bottom by French autoloaders is never a good idea. But I really wanted to get rid of that T-30. We also saw that my armor was just very troll, bouncing that 750 damage from the T-30. Yeah, I mean, it's a bruiser brawler of a tank. And boy, did it feel fast there with the turbo to just get around that corner and be able to get into position. If I can survive the worst possible scenario and still have, like, I'm not saying it's a good game, but I can still get 2,000 damage and 3 kills in the worst possible scenario, when maybe other heavies just feel like they're completely useless. When you think about it, because I do have the auto reloader, it doesn't matter if I'm set on fire, I can still get my rounds out every 3 seconds. And then, when I've extinguished the fire, then my reload will be back to normal, right? Okay, cool. So this map really sucks for this vehicle. I can't think of a worse map for a tank that doesn't have gun depression, but we're going to go for it anyway. Do I need a turbo on this map? Probably, because I want to do some funky stuff. I'm going to go up towards, like, the B1 area. My top of my turret probably isn't great, so I'll have to watch out for that, but I should be good. In fact, you know what? This is what you do. You auto forwards, and you go, and you get better while you're getting into position. Yeah, okay, we're going to get overmatched on the top of our turret, so we're going to have to be careful for that. So we're going to have to watch out if I want to make that play. Oh my good God, my team is just, they're just not gamers. They're not gamers, boys and girls. They're not gamers. Can you believe the tanks with 8 and 10 degrees of gun depression are just not going to fight for this flank? And they've got 2 artillery who are definitely going to fight for my hit points, right? Yeah, this is not looking great. I should not have got caught here. Misplay by me. Luckily, my armor holds up. Yeah, okay, great. I don't know why we have a Tiger 2 and an E75 who are playing snipey snipe, but okay. I'm gonna tell this guy to fall back. I don't really fancy my chances there. I'm gonna try and find myself a position where the artillery can't shoot me and I can still manage to side scrape. That would be the dream right now. Position where I can still side scrape and artillery can't shoot me. Where can I use? Maybe up here. Only problem here is if they get above me in the hold down position, I'm going to struggle. But yeah, artillery's usually over there. Sometimes I like to mark the minimap to see the kind of angle that artillery are going to have on me. So yeah, if I was in a 7.52, I'd be up on that ridgeline fighting, but I just don't have the gun depression for it. Man, this thing's so responsive. I can't believe its power to weight ratio. 14. It's just a solid quick vehicle. I'm sorry to leave that T28 there, but I have to try and get these guys in this gun line. I really needed this E75 to just be a little bit useful, but alas, he's not. It's kind of going to suck. I'm just going to have to wait for maybe my mediums to win the southern flank, and I'm going to have to just try and be a very annoying vehicle here. Trying to think about where I want my kill zone to be. I want to try and create some line of fire for my team. Also still try and keep my artillery in it. Here we go. This is what we wanted. There's 1. There's 2. As easy as that. There's the artillery, though. Did he pen me? Where did he pen me? I can't show on battle hits. Unfortunately, don't have battle hits installed. G-Saw's telling me to spot. It's always nice. Always nice. Is this just going to be another one of those games where I just have to try and make a play to win? Wait for my team, I guess. I guess. 2 iffy maps. 1 iffy fire. I don't think they're going to push me now. Should I wait for G-Saw the tank to come and reinforce? Ooh. The more that I'm thinking about this vehicle, the more that I think that it's just going to be an absolute hell of a tank to try and dig out, you know? Absolute hell of a tank to try and dig out. I mean, how do you dig out a tank which has just such god-tier armor from side-scraping? I think the way that he might have got me is actually overmatched into my flaps. Should we do another learning technique? Alt-tab. Yeah, look, it's only got 20 millimeters of, like, flap armor under there. So if he shot up into there, that would have been able to overmatch if he has a 61 millimeter gun. That Progetto 66 was nearly shooting me while I was trying to learn. Not very nice to shoot me while trying to learn, mate. Oh my lord, this tank. That is a punishing vehicle. And look, I've only got a 5-second reload. If I was in the 7.52 right now, I would have to be down for like 20 or 30 seconds. Oh. There we go. I'm the real auto reloader now. There's 50 TP's trying to get behind me. Luckily, his artillery saves him. The SFAC puts a shot into me. That guy gets bored of looking at me. Remember me? Let's see if you remember me. Ah, well. He remembers me anyway. Now the artillery's got me. Cool. Yeah, if only the artillery wasn't just so hell-bent on ruining my day, it'd be good. Not sure where this SFAC is. Just gotta hold on the corner here. And the thing is, I'm gonna get stronger now, right? So I've got the flexibility to shoot back if I need to, but I'm just gonna get stronger the longer it goes on. So this is such a weird vehicle to play against in a way, because it's gonna be the kind of tank that you don't want to push. But if you don't push it, it's going to get stronger and recover, right? My team is starting to throw shade at the E75. It might be a bot, but oh well. I'm just going to have to do my thing. Just do my thing. Tiger 2 is going to go and feed the TDs right now, that's for sure. I've got to be very careful, because as soon as I get caught out, both of the artilleries have got me dead to rights right now. Okay, cool. Do I really want to go up and around? They've lost all of their tanks apart from the SVAC. E75 is pushing. That's nice. People are really energetic today on this Wednesday morning. As you can see in chat, that's great. Just having a nice casual Wednesday. Relaxing Wednesday morning. Yeah. Yeah. People are suggesting now that E75 is AI on my team. Maybe. Maybe. Anyway, I digress. QuickyBabs, get back to the gameplay. Get back to the object 265T. I think this is going to be a very good vehicle. I think this is going to be way better than the SVAC for the tokens. I think it's going to be a really annoying tank to play against as well, because you know... How many of you have played against Char Future 4 drivers who just drive into any situation and hold down the mouse button and they do 800, 1,200 or 1,600 damage to you before you manage to take them down? It's really hard to stop a Char Future 4 that has 1,750 hit points from just coming after you, right? Almost impossible. I think that's going to be the case with this as well. These things are going to just drive in. They're going to dump their 1,200 magazine on you. And then afterwards, they're going to start reloading at their optimal form. That 3-second intra is pretty cool as well. So yeah, I think this is going to be a terrifying tank. All in all. For me personally, very scary tank to play against. And then it auto reloads as well, which means Adrenaline Rush is more valuable on this vehicle. Oh man. Hello T103. Easy as 1, 2, 3 this game, right boys and girls? Easy as 1, 2, 3. Easy as 1, 2, 3. There we go. Job done. So I took a nightmare situation where it looked like... Oh, that was a bit of a jump scare. I think I missed there. That's a shame. I took a nightmare situation where we end up on a map where we need gun depression, and I changed it. I changed the scenario to being in my favor, and I'm happy with the 4,500 combined, considering that we had that E75 and the G-Source who didn't want to play the North. I made a play, made a bad situation good, and if I can do 4,500 in those kind of scenarios, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. This thing's looking like a real tank. It's looking like a good find for your tokens. GG. An actual good G-Saw the Tank player must be trying to market, right? Anyway, we finished second there. Credits-wise, this thing isn't premium, so it's not going to make bonus credits, but at least it does have a free large repair kit. That free large repair kit does mean that the track repair time should be pretty mad. Wow, without durability, 5 seconds. With durability, regular durability, 4.28 seconds. Well, at least that's going to help for not taking a durability if you want to take a firepower build with mobility. But yeah, I think with the durability, that should be pretty nutty. Yeah, good luck, you know, locking this thing down and getting it side. Keep the armor just in front. Yeah, I think this one, Wargaming, it's going to need a little bit of tuning before. I think it's going to be too strong. In my humble opinion, I think this tank's going to be too strong, especially for a token reward tank. I don't think that's going to suit your monetization department. I think when people get this might be a very cool toy for them to have at tier 9. But then again, when I think about it, you know, the Char Future 4 is great as well. But I don't think the Char Future 4 is as powerful as this tank. That's how I feel. Okay, so I'm going to switch to, it's over here, the durability build for this vehicle. And I'm just going to go get into the town and hopefully mess some tanks up. I'm going to have to fight possibly a tortoise. I'm going to load gold here. My AP shells will just bounce off him. Let's just make our way through and get side-scraping. This is, apart from the 2 piggies on the enemy team, this is like the dream scenario for this vehicle. And look at this thing. It's not even slow. It's not even slow, even without that turbo. It's not fast. But I would consider the Type 68 to be a faster heavy, and I'm bearing down upon him like this tank is bearing down upon the tier 9 matchmaker. Imminently. Should I just go get into this window, or should I try and be a little bit more cheeky and push forwards? I don't want to sit here, actually, because I think artillery will mess me up. I'm going to try and get forwards. They got a contender and a conceiver on the other side here. Uh-oh, I might have goofed. I might have goofed, he says. Should I just go here and test this thing's armor out? Should we just do some proper armor testing? So here's the thing. If that XM's going to push me. Oh, I've really goofed. I got so greedy. I got so greedy, boys and girls. I got so greedy, boys and girls. I got so greedy. I got so greedy. I got so greedy. I can't let this guy have my bottom, so I'm just going to have to go after him. Maybe I can kill him before he reloads? Okay. Yeah, I can kill him before he reloads. Alright. Well, that's nice. I'm pretty sure I'll take artillery shells here, though. Yeah, got to watch out for this weak point on top of my tank right now. I'm going to wait for a reload just so I can fire 2 here. Oh. God, this thing. It's just got the hit points. It's got the firepower. It's got the armor. What doesn't it have? What doesn't it have, boys and girls? I guess the gun depression is the issue. Oh, well played. They both got my weak point there. Well, apparently they're accurate. Bit of a goofy play there, I guess. Okay, yeah, the weak point is actually a little bit bigger than I thought it would be. I'm probably going to die to Artie here now. Okay. So I guess I want to side-scrape around that corner, but then the Artie's going to be able to get me. Yeah, that weak point's a little bit bigger than I probably anticipated. That's the way it is. Oof. I'll just change the angle on these guys. Punish them with patented QuickyBaby hit points. Durability device got some good value here. Is that Chimera trying to shoot me? Maybe. I don't really have time to worry about him at the moment. I think I'll just go for the T10 anyway. Come on, Mr. T10. Oh, I fired just a second too early there. That was a misplay by me. Got to still play this thing like it's an auto-reloader, right? So my weak point's on the left, so my weak point shouldn't be exposed here unless he's going to get me. Do you know what we've seen in this game? I'm really happy. It's coming together pretty well right now with my opinion on this vehicle. What we saw this game is you can have like a nightmare scenario, like an XM behind you. And I know I ammo-racked him, but I would have killed him anyway. I had the 2 shells, so I was fully prepared for that bad situation. Well, that was a bad shot. Better. Oh, this thing just pumps. It pumps. It pumps. It pumps. This thing is absolutely solid. This guy could fire HE at me right now, but the game's pretty much over anyway. This thing pumps. The fact that I get myself in 3.5 minutes to still do like 4K combined, even though again I had a bad situation for the vehicle, is pretty wild. It's wild. This tank's wild, boys and girls. That's how I feel. You just got to worry about that weak point. You don't want to sit completely still. So that's a little bit awkward because it doesn't have the best of non-derpy guns, so you do kind of want to sit still. I mean, you don't want to sit still, but you have to sit still because of the gun handling. Yeah, this thing's mad. This thing's mad. I'm going to be mad when we see these things in the matchmaker a lot. Oof, that was a whiff. Please no low rolls. No! Okay, it's fine. Oh, nice shot, Kalana. Got me through the side. Sneaky shot through that gap. GG. GG. Alrighty then. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, to stop this video ending up being another 40-minute QuickyBaby adventure, I think I got to come to the conclusion. So, yeah, another like 4,700 combined, even though we had, again, a pretty big nightmare scenario. All of the enemy tanks ended up against me, and we had an XM flank me, and it still couldn't stop this tank from just absolutely crunching. I think this thing, it's way better than the Iraq, okay? The Iraq is okay. This thing is good, if not great. My gut instinct is that unfortunately, now that this because Wargaming haven't actually released this tank, but they've released the NDA for it to allow somebody like me to make a tank review. I think that it's going to get nerfed. But I think it will be good for the game if this thing gets nerfed. If it doesn't, definitely spend your Battle Pass tokens on this vehicle and don't get the Iraq. get this one. This one will be far better, unless you think like you're the best French light tank player of all time. I think this thing is absolutely mental. How would I change it? I think it has to lose some hit points. I think it needs to have worse damage per minute. I think that they could give it a little bit of a longer reload. It's hard. Maybe reduce the speed as well. A little bit of engine power. Those are the kinds of aspects. I feel like its gun handling is already annoying enough. I wouldn't really be adjusting those. But I think this tank, at the moment, it's too good. But you know what? Wargaming might not listen. They might just release this thing into the game. And if that is the case, then we're going to be seeing more Soviet-heavy metas. But the difference is it won't be behind a paywall. Now, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing for the game? Good thing, I guess, for people who want to have overpowered tanks and not have to pay for them. However, if that happens, you might be seeing a lot of these on the battlefield, because look how much the Char Future 4 is played. The Char Future 4 is the most popular tier 9 tank, and that one's close to being too good for the game, and we might see that happening with a tank that is clearly too good for the game in the form of the Object 265T. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was my full tank review on this Soviet behemoth. Good luck getting the tokens to be able to get this one. Even if Wargaming do nerf it, I do think it will still be worth it. And yeah, hope this video was useful. If it was, give the video a thumbs up. If it wasn't, then give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Object 265T. Do you think it looks absolutely outrageous, the all-purpose tank with kind of no real clear weaknesses, or do you think that I'm being too favorable towards this tank? And if you're watching this video as it goes live on Wednesday, it's time for some more drops tokens. So come and grab them live at 4 o'clock UTC today on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.